She stepped off a riverboat into a sea of trees. Brittany to frontier, ocean to woodland. Not a queen or an heiress, a French sister with 5 companions, a traveler's cloak, and a vow to trust Providence when money and maps ran out. They called it Saint Mary of the Woods. In 1840, it looked more like a clearing with a promise. Mother Theodore didn't wait for comfort. She opened a school before she had proper desks. She taught before there were textbooks to spare. She wrote letters when crops failed, crossed oceans when funds dried up, and steadied her people when pressure rose. That's the pattern. Courage that looks like logistics, and sanctity that looks like a timetable kept in the rain. She was born Antorise Guérin in Brittany. Loss came early. Responsibility followed. Her mother needed her. The world called anyway. Years later, she entered religious life and took a new name, Sister Saint Theodore, the beginning of a road she couldn't yet see. Sickness shadowed her steps, but Providence kept opening doors. When a distant bishop in America asked for help on the frontier, she prayed, listened, and said yes. Picture the journey. Ship across the Atlantic, canals, riverboats, wagons. In 1840, she and 5 sisters reached Indiana. Forests deep, roads rough, winter close. They set up in a farmhouse and called it a convent. The chapel was simple. The ledger was thin. The need was not. She was invited by a bishop with big plans and a sharp temperament. They didn't always agree. She stayed anyway for the mission, for the girls, for the future waiting in those trees. Start with a classroom. Add faith, grit, and a timetable. She founded St. Mary's Academy, today St. Mary of the Woods College, the oldest Catholic women's liberal arts college in the United States. Money was short. Anti-Catholic prejudice ran hot. Supplies went missing, years hit hard, and winter did what winter does. Her answer was steady. Put yourself into Providence. Then she'd plan, hustle, and try again tomorrow. The headwinds were real. Illness, debt, disagreements with authority. At one point, her leadership was challenged. She did not split the work or scorch the earth. She stood her ground without raising her voice. Here's the lesson you can steal. Hold the mission tighter than your pride. When fear pushes, anchor to purpose, and keep building for the people you serve. From Indiana out into Illinois, schools multiplied. Orphans found a home. Farmers' daughters learned to read Latin roots and do accounts. Her sisters took vows, traveled rough roads, and kept going when praise was scarce. She crossed back to France to raise funds and recruit. Came home with more sisters and more hope. The forest started to sound like a city of bells. She died May 14, 1856, buried at St. Mary of the Woods. But the work did not rest. Decades later, reports of favors kept circling her name. One healing stood out in our own time. A man with a damaged eye prayed at her shrine and recovered in a way doctors could not explain. The church examined, tested, and finally said yes. Beatified in 1998, canonized in 2006. Her congregation has welcomed thousands since 1840. The college still stands among the trees. And her sentence still works when plans feel thin. Trust Providence, then move your feet. If you're starting something from nothing, write her name on your calendar. When the road narrows, borrow her calm. Build anyway. Teach anyway. Let courage look like good paperwork finished on a stormy night. Providence that guided Mother Theodore. Steady our hands today. Give us clarity, patience, and joy in the work. Make us brave and keep us kind. Amen.